Hello students. So today we are in the part 3 of system of particles and rotational motion. So in this section we will see the angular momentum of a particle. Then we'll see the torque and the angular momentum for a system of particles. Then conservation of angular momentum, and also we'll see the relation between torque and the angular momentum. So completely this part is based on angular momentum and its relation with the torque. Follow. So now let us see the angular momentum. So what is meant by angular momentum? So the momentum of the moment of momentum of a particle about the axis of rotation is called angular momentum, and it is measure of the turning effect associated with the momentum of the particle. Moment is nothing but the force, right? So the force applied to the momentum of a particle when it is in the rotatory effect. Okay, so here in the diagram you can see a particle is in the zy axis. Okay, and from the origin there is a position vector r, and the angle between, if we extend the position vector towards here, and this is the momentum of that particle, right? So now there are two vectors here, position vector and the momentum, right? So here the angle made between r and p is the theta. So it is similar to the right hand rule. So here there are two vectors, r and p. So now the third one should be in this direction, right? But as it is a rotational effect, so the third one will be in the other coordinate. That is, if the two forces are acting on a body, the third force or its resultant will be in the other part. So that is in the screw rule. So we have seen in the screw rule that so when we apply force in the on the screw, so two forces A and B, and the thumb points the upward direction of the screw, okay, or it is moving to forward. So in the same manner here, when R and P are applied on a particle and that particle is rotating, it is rotating in this manner, the third vector will be in some other axis, right? So here, that's why we have written here, we have taken this L equal to R cross P, that is in the X and Z plane. Okay, so this is the we have to apply here the screw rule or the right hand rule of vector product. And here when there is cross, you should always understand that cross means the third vector is inwards. Okay, inward, direction is inward, and if there is a dot, it is outward, right? So and also it is clockwise, right? And if it is outward, then it is anti-clockwise. Inwards is clockwise and outward is anti-clockwise. So therefore here if we draw a momentum perpendicular here downwards, produce downwards, and extend here this one, so from this to this is the theta angle, okay, and opposite to this will be r sin theta, right? So therefore cross product of these two is taken as rp sin theta. So L vector, so cross product of two vectors is given by L vector is equal to r cross p. So this is the angular momentum, right? So let us, I will just read out here. Consider a particle of mass m having linear momentum p equal to m into v. There is a particle whose mass is m and it is moving with a linear velocity v at a point p at the position vector r. So the position vector is r from the origin. Let L be the angular momentum, and its equation is given by L vector equal to r cross p. Right? Now, as the angular momentum of a moving particle about a point is defined as, just write the equation, L equal to r cross p, where p is the linear momentum and r is the position vector with respect to that point. Therefore, its magnitude is given by L equal to rp sin theta, because it is perpendicular and sin theta is for the perpendicular direction. Always perpendicular we will have to take. Okay. Then there are two values here where L will be minimum and L is maximum. So when theta is 0 and 180 degree, the L is minimum or it is 0, and if it has the maximum value when theta is 90 degree. Right? So L is equal to Rp we will get. So this is the maximum value. Minimum value is L is equal to 0 when r is 0 or p is 0, or theta equal to 0 degree and 180 degree. So this is about the angular momentum. So once more I'll tell you, angular momentum is nothing but the moment of momentum of a particle about the axis of rotation. Okay, and it has a turning effect associated with the momentum of the particle. So now let us see the relation between the torque and the angular momentum. So now let us consider the equation for the angular momentum. So angular momentum is given by L is equal to r cross p, where p is the linear momentum, m into v. So this equation we will consider as equation number 1. Now what we have to do is differentiate equation 1 with respect to t or time. Right? So therefore we will see here dl vector by dt equals d by dt into r cross p vector. So now applying the product rule, for differentiation to the right hand side. So already it is dl by dt, and its product rule will be, so individually we will take here one by one, we have to differentiate. First we will take r, dr by dt. Now okay, dr by dt into p vector plus, okay, then dp by r into dp by dt, dp vector by dt. Okay, so what we have taken here, we have considered the angular momentum equation, L is equal to r cross p, equation 1 it is, and differentiating this equation 1 with respect to time, dl vector by dt, d by dt, r vector into p vector. Applying the product rule, dl by dt as it is we will take here, okay, is equal to dr by dt in cross p plus r cross p vector by dt. Okay, now let us go to the next step. So dl by dt dl vector by dt equals, so what is the dr by dt? It is vector v, right, into p as it is plus, r vector into dp by dt. Okay, so we know that dr by dt is v, right? But what we will say, v, since v cross p equals v as it is, so we expand for linear momentum m into v. So these are two similar vectors, right? So that will be equal to 0, because v cross v, there is angle is 0, therefore its product will be 0, since sine, because v square sine 0 is 0, right? Hence we will take this product as 0. So what remains is, for in this equation, is dl by dt equals r vector cross dp vector by dt. Okay, now the change in the rate of change of momentum is what? Force, the second law of Newton's second law, right? So therefore, since dp by dt is equal to f dl by dt is equal to r cross f vector. So what is this? We have learnt that it is a tau. It is the torque. Therefore, what is the relation between torque and angular momentum? The rate of change of angular momentum is equal to the torque on the body. This is the relation, final relation. So once more I'll say you, from here dl differentiate with respect to t, dl by dt equal to v cross p plus r cross dp by dt. V cross p equal to v into m into v. M into v means v cross m into v will get 0. Therefore, what remains here is dl by dt equal to r cross dp by dt. So here the rate of change of momentum is F, Newton's second law. Newton's second law, right? Therefore, it is dl by dt equal to r cross f vector, which is nothing but the torque. The relation between the angular momentum and the torque is the rate of change of angular momentum is equal to torque on the body. Now let us go to torque and angular momentum of a system of particles. So now here we have seen for the single particle, we will see for the system of particles. Okay, so now let us see the total vector, the total sum of the individual momenta of particles for angular momentum is L vector is equal to L1 vector plus L2 vector plus L3 vector, so on Ln vector. So this will be summation of n equal to 1 to I is equal to 1 to n. So this is Li vector. Now we know that, what we know? We know that L vector is equal to Li equal to, we can write it as Ri vector in cross Pi vector, right? So this is the angular momentum for I particles. Ith particle. Okay. Now, what is the linear momentum? Pi is equal to m into Vi vector, right? Mi Vi will take. Okay. Now, as we know that L vector is equal to summation of Li vector I equal to 1 to n. So this will be summation of I equal to 1 to n Ri vector cross Pi vector. Therefore we have dl vector by dt equals d by dt. Will take outside the differentiation, summation of only L. What is L here? Summation of Li vector. So this is again summation, you take it outside, dli vector by dt. So differentiation of we have just derived here, it is equal to the torque Ti. Okay, Ti, tau I. So where tau I is the torque for the ith particle. Ith particle, and again we can substitute, go on substituting. Tau I equals to summation of 1 to I equal to 1 to n tau I vector. This we can write in terms of position vector and force, I to 1 and R cross F Fi vector. So here torque will split into two, that is one internal, one external. So I will write here torque is split into torque external plus torque internal. So internal we will take it as 0 because here internal means the particles will be colliding with each other, they cancel out, the torque cancel out, because there we can apply the Newton's third law. So therefore net torque for I particles will be due to the external torque, since tau internal is equal to 0, right? Therefore the total time, thus we can write it as tau external is equal tau I equal to tau external, hence the dl by dt is equal to tau external. Okay, so this is the torque and the angular momentum for the I system of particles. So therefore we can just define this as the time rate of change of total angular momentum of a system of particles about a point is equal to the sum of the torques due to external forces acting on the system taken about the same point. So this we can come to the conclusion of the torque and the angular momentum of the system of particles. Hope you have understood. Now we'll move on to the conservation of angular momentum. So let us see what is the conservation of angular momentum. If tau external it is tau external. Tau external is the total external torque on a system of particles. We have the rate of change of angular momentum equal to tau external. So we have just derived it. Then if external torque is 0, then the equation will be equal to the rate of change of angular momentum will be 0. So if it is differentiation, now if we again integrate it, then what we get, L is a constant value. So L is equal to constant. Thus if the total external torque on a system of particles is 0, then the total angular momentum of a system remains constant. So if there is no torque on the system of particles, the momentum will be constant. That means the momentum doesn't change at all. It remains constant. So if there is a torque, external torque, then there will be change in the momentum. Okay, I stop the video. Thank you.